right, cool. So this one's kind of just completely off tangent from everything else we've kind of talked about today. I just have it on the list.
Yeah. Okay.
How long should the first date be?
Long? As long as
about 7 to 8 inches.
I mean, you should first date to go the whole hog, even if you think, oh, I want to make her my girlfriend. No, have to keep pushing for a date, and ideally take it to your house. You end the date when enough moves, and then the one who should end the date. She's complete garbage.
So how long, roughly, how long do you think the date should go before you try to take her home?
You should start in one venue and then take her to another venue. More about the drinking. Then you should be trying to make your moves as soon as possible. If it's chemist, 10 minutes. Some girls
let me translate his broken, garbled Thai Wi-Fi thing. He said you should take her to one venue and then to a second that has even more drinking than the first. You should be trying to make physical moves and escalate throughout the date. And basically, as soon as possible, as soon as you feel like this thing is ready, she's primed, it's good to go, then you should try to take her back home.
I think Rich also said something really important. Chemistry is really important here. So like if you're feeling it and things are going well, depending on what time you meet too, a first date can go as long as possible. You know, it could go, if you meet like at 5, it could go till 3 o'clock in the morning. Or if it's a date where you just don't have any chemistry, I don't know, don't waste your time. Keep it an hour tops, you know, depending on how things are going.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry, go on, Rich.
You agree? I mean, like Fiona, but then after a couple, she's loosened up, right? Or she maybe was very awkward and then she just needs time. She's made at the beginning, so don't give up. If you're really pushing, you're having so many silences, banter, then as just call it, because they can then go to a bar and you've got from that date to then go and match you with chemistry and just go home with your tail between your legs and thrive off the date, thrive off the practice you get from having company, and go out to a bar. If a date ends bad, keep going. If I end a date and then I'll start talking to girls because I'll screw this one, I'm going to go find. I thrive off that I've just had, even though it was shit going, because what's the point in going, jacking it an early night?
So to exactly that point of, if a date goes badly, just drop it and keep on going. I used to, on my first dates, I would always bring my guitar with me on my back. And girls thought it was a little bit weird at first. They were like, oh, do you have a show later? Or do you have like band practice or something? And I'd say, oh, no, not at all. And she'd say, well, why do you have your guitar? And I'd say, because this is a first date. And if the date sucks, I'm just going to go out and play guitar on the street instead. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, listen, I carry my plan B with me on my back because I never know what I'm going to get whenever I'm coming out here meeting a girl for the first time. So could be used as a prop for the date, could play a show on the street, could use it to serenade some girls out in the park later on. If this doesn't go well, I have a plan B ready. And you should always be ready to have a plan B. But to the question of how long the date should go, One of the biggest mistakes that guys make, and I know this because I've made this mistake many times, is they'll keep the date going too long, right? Like they'll have a good time together, and then they'll be escalating physically. Okay, the situation's great, and she's primed and ready, but then you try to keep the date going more and more and more and not taking her home. Then she gets tired, or she thinks, well, maybe this guy's not that interested in me. Maybe he doesn't even, maybe he's gay. I don't know what's going on here. What's happening? And then she'll get tired of it and ghost you. So you don't want to drag the date any more than you have to. An ideal situation would be probably about 2 to 4 hours and 2 venues to 3 venues maximum is going to be more than enough. If you're doing things right, it's going to be more than enough to either call it a day and say, look, you know what, this isn't working, or maybe to just say, you know what, this was a ton of fun, I'll see you again next time, or to take her home, because you don't want the thing to go on over long. You don't want to overstay your welcome.
Better to actually just end it if it's gone on too long. The mystery going for the next date. Yeah. End it on that make out kiss, and then she'll be wondering. It's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're going to end it, if you're not going to take her home, end it on a high note. Or if it hits like a really, really bad low note and you're like, that's it, I'm fucking out. Then
leave her in the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
with the crazies.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Well, I feel like this is prudent. Sorry, I feel like this is prudent advice, especially if this is like a 3-date type of girl. So you're gonna go out with one. It is important to know, like, okay, well, obviously she's gonna want to meet again, and I'm not gonna be able to take home today. So this is gonna be at least a minimum 3-date type of girl. Learn where to get like a nice dinner and a cup of coffee later, and after the drink is done and you guys are done hanging out, take her to the subway exit and let her go home. That's what 2-3 hours, depending on how long, maybe longer if you guys are have a lot to talk about. And then in the third night or fourth, that's when you guys get some more drinks, and that's when you just learn to seal the deal and such, so that way you could,
yeah.
But it is important to space
and
things
also,
out, for sure.
Yeah, and also at the beginning, by a girl who tells the next day, and she has to get up early or change her mind, depending on. Don't just like immediately if she says that at very. That's a shit test often, and also she can use the excuse later. But if it goes great, she'll and go to work in the morning, sleep whatsoever. Because you managed to make that move and not get that last minute. That's another important thing to remember. If they say that date, if they say it at the end of the day, fucking clear sign, and she does actually, she's using that. No worries as well. You got it. You're thrown off by it early on.
Whenever a girl tells me that she has to wake up early the next morning, my first response is always, ew, gross. Why? No, who would do that? Because it throws them off. They're like, wait, what do you mean? Like everybody, it's like tomorrow's a Wednesday. Of course we have to wake up early and go to work and do things. Ew, disgusting. What kind of person would do that?
Well, you could use that. I was rather in bed.
What?
Yeah. I was rather looking forward to breakfast in bed.
What? You robbed in bed?
In bed?
How did that
Breakfast
happen?
in bed.
Oh,
Blowing you off.
I'm not sure exactly what he's saying, but that would be a golden line. If a girl says, "Yeah, I have to wake up early tomorrow," and you said, "Why? To bring me breakfast in bed?" If that's what you're saying, that's pure fucking gold. I prefer my bacon crispy, just so you know.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh, that is some swinging steel balls of confidence right there. Oh, I love that.
Or how about a quick one? Like now, before you go, what is how would you end a date that's going really bad? Because I have some methods, but I want to hear what you have to say. And Rich, you too.
If a date's going bad, like just we aren't getting along at all or something like that, is that what you mean?
I mean, it's just zero chemistry. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like zero chemistry. She's not laughing. She's like, I had one, and I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Zero chemistry. I mean, like, fuck it. Go for the Hail Mary, right? And be like, now I have a serious question for you. Do you have any friends who have a better sense of humor? Because this clearly isn't working out. But I mean, fuck it, why not? Or like, hey, look, I can tell, we aren't really getting along all that well. But do you happen to like giving blowjobs? Because I love receiving blowjobs, and we don't even have to get along for that to happen. So I mean, just throw the long pass, see what happens. Because if you're gonna end it anyway, right? Like you're not getting along, you're gonna end it anyway. So fuck it, right? Throw one out there.
There was I know with one at a chicken place. She was just like getting offended at like the bad words I was saying. It wasn't even like I was cursing a lot. I was just saying bad words like, oh fuck. And she would look at me like I just something horrible. And I was like, oh God, this girl sucks. How do I get rid of this one? And I was just like, oh, like we were leaving. I was like, oh well, yeah, I gotta get going. I'm gonna go meet my friends in Hongdae. Bye. I just like left her on the road and went down the subway exit.
Oh, sorry. I have a sudden and urgent case of diarrhea. I need to go.
I remember I got catfished and I left the girl in the park. I was like, oh yeah, hold on. I think I see my friend over there. And I just like sped off walking. And I think that's when I messaged you. I was like, hey Jack, I'm gonna leave this girl in the park. Let's go. Yeah, that was bad. I also did it to another girl in front of her group of friends from Indonesia. That was bad too. Same place, same park. I was like, oh wait, I think I see some friends there, and I just walked up really fast and left her behind. Whew, that was bad.
I would prefer to just tell them that it's over, or I mean, like throw the Hail Mary and just like because you're clearly ending it, right?
I like my park method better. Actions speak louder than words.
in that case, yes, definitely.
Yeah.